Good evening, my people. So, um, you know, in the case of the sentencing of Afa Babatunde Sotitobire and his crèche workers. So I wanted us to talk about why the judge actually sentenced him, because I didn't get to say why he was sentenced, because I didn't have all the points at that time. So far, what we know is that Afa Babatunde has been transferred to Kirikiri maximum prison, and the other five ladies have been distributed around prisons in Nigeria. And yeah, the young man, Peter Anjorin, is now a free man. And of course, definitely he's going to appeal, and everybody is looking at it that they don't have any case against him. But I hope that you guys remember that um, the prosecution, the Attorney General of Ondo State, he said that what they have is circumstantial evidence. So that the circumstantial evidence that was used was strong enough, to convince Sotitobire and his church members. And what happened was, there was evidence of bribery on the side of Sotitobire's people. They tried to buy the judge, you see, and they gave the lawyer money to bribe the judge, but the judge would not be bought, and the evidence was tendered in court, and also his wife was trying to intervene and also try to influence the justice that was going to decide the case. And yeah, that one is also on record. And yeah, they had a case against the lawyer Odushola, okay, of Sotitobire. So the court asked that the DSS should investigate him, but he was trying to ask for the court to adjourn that, the whole case, but the justice did not allow that. So he, on that day of the sentencing, the lawyer, the chief lawyer of Sotitobire, he actually has his, just removed himself from the case, and signed out of the case completely. So he left the courtroom even before they started the whole proceedings, because he wouldn't be part of it anymore. He said he's no longer Sotitobire's lawyer. So yeah, they said they have what the judge have against him is that, so there are five of them. I think I wrote the name somewhere. Yeah, Margaret Oyebola is the lead children teacher. So she is the one that baby goat's mother gave the baby to. So Afa Babatunde is of course the president and founder of this prison chapel, and Margaret Oyebola, and then come Grace Ogunjobi and Motoro Rai Ogunjobi, and then Esther Omodara, Olayinka, and Esther Kayode. So the five of them are now the people that have been sentenced, and Peter Anjori, the man, is the one that was left out of the whole thing. So the judge said, from the time he heard that the baby was missing, he did not show any interest. Like he was just careless about it. He didn't show any concern for it, for the child, or do anything. And the judge was also talking against the Ondo State Police Department, because they were used as instrument of oppression against the family. Because when they went to report the case at that time, they arrested the grandmother of the baby, and the father was also attacked. And they release police people to be guarding, Afara to Sotitobire, to be guiding him. So they didn't take any action, and so the justice also reprimanded them on that front, that they were used as tools of oppression. And also, he said there was conspiracy of silence from the circumstantial evidence that they have. They have their telephones and all the interactions that went through that. It can be concluded from that circumstantial evidence that there was a conspiracy of silence between Sotitobire and those 14 church workers. So they didn't say anything or did anything to help in the recovery of the baby. Instead, there was this conspiracy of silence that enabled them, to that seemed like everything that happened was already planned. So yeah, the evidence they have against them is the circumstantial evidence. And I've also learned that in criminology, that circumstantial evidence can also be really strong, and for the judge to deem it fit to issue any verdict. So yeah, this is the much I know. And I didn't get to say this, and I showed you already the video that the general made. And I wanted to show you the video of what the lawyer said.
This is to establish further to the public that the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Victory has been established for the rule of law. The fact that the government is against the defendant today does not mean they can't exercise their right of appeal. We will consult with them and take the necessary steps.
So the lawyers, the other lawyer of Sotitobire is still standing with him at that point, and he said that he's going to consult with them, and they will take this necessary step, and they are really counting that if they do the appeal, that it's going to come out positive for their side. And even before this sentencing, I've also heard that they had a night vigil, and they were really optimistic that everything is going to be positive on their side. So they have already bought food and drinks, ready to party in the anticipation that the judge is going to throw everything out. But unfortunately for them, it didn't happen like that. So they are banking on the fact that because they don't have any direct evidence but circumstantial evidence, that those circumstances that they were using as evidence is going to be thrown out, you see. So I don't know how it's going to be, but this is the much I know. If anybody knows any better, you can also add to the conversation. I pinned the number that you can call in. I hope you can see the number. So the number is +49 1522 7981 593. So if you want to add to the conversation, you can call this number if you know any more, so that we can enrich the conversation. Yeah, so yeah, this is all we know so far. The judge said that there was a conspiracy of silence, so that means all of them were not saying anything, and it's maybe they took an oath, I don't know. But he said that there's a conspiracy of silence. So, and that conspiracy of silence and the interactions that have gone between them made the judge to use that as a circumstantial evidence. And also their testimonies, of course, during the interviews and the investigation of the DSS, their testimonies was also read in court. So they were all the circumstances that was added together that they used against him. So yeah, it is what it is. And like I said, unfortunately, we don't know where baby gold is. I don't know what is up with that. So we'll have to wait and see how the appeal goes. But how Nigerian judiciary is a very sluggish process. So I don't think it's something that is going to happen, at the off a bat like that. So we don't know. We'll have to wait. So as you heard the lawyer, he said that they are going to try and consult with their client and they are hoping that because it is not favorable now does not mean it's not going to be favorable in another court. So yeah, they are very optimistic on that front. But for me personally, I know that what God has started, God will complete it, and I pray Almighty God will really reveal the whereabouts of this child, so that everybody can actually know what happened to the child. So because I've been surprised all along that it has almost evolved beyond the child somehow, but at the end of the day, I don't know that other than if they are already involved in something like that, that it doesn't happen to another child. But it will be important and interesting to actually know what happened to that child, you see. So yeah, my people, this is just what I wanted to share with you in this video today. So if anybody has anything more that they want to contribute, or if you want to add to the conversation, you can call this number +49 1522 7981 593. So you can call the number and add your own opinion, and tell us if you know something more, and yeah, what you think about the judgment. But for me personally, I feel that it's a good judgment, because as long as the baby is not found, and as long as the baby was in their custody when it was missing, and as long as you have not still seen the baby, so I think it's a good judgment altogether. It's a good judgment. Yeah, until the appeal is going forth, and then if we get to know something better. But for now, I think it's something that we can live with, and know that yeah, there's a lot of concern that um, it may not be true, but I don't know. We will see. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, my brother. Yeah. So here I'm talking about the missing baby in Akure. So I'm not talking about politics. I know that Ondo people are voting today, but that's not what I'm talking about in this video. That's not what I'm talking about at all. So yeah, I've listened to the conversation of those people vying for the position of the governor. I feel that they are two competent candidates actually, and they were very civil with each other in that debate that they had. So I'm really confident that whoever wins the election, that Ondo will still be in a good hands. So yeah, but yeah, I just wanted us to talk about why the court sentenced Sotitobire, because they didn't find any direct evidence, and still they haven't found the child, and it's assumed that the investigation is still ongoing. But the reason is that there is enough circumstantial evidence, to convict them of the charges that was brought against them. And based on that circumstantial evidence, that there was a conspiracy of silence, that was why the judge sentenced them. So whatever the circumstances are that the judge found to bear this level of weight, I'm sure it's not going to be easy to be upturned by a higher court, or the Supreme Court even, So there was a case like that about one Reverend King. He's an Igbo man, and he used to beat his members in the church and all those kind of things. But the last one was, he said they were committing fornication or something like that, immorality, and he poured something on them and ignited fire. So yeah, they didn't die immediately, but it took some days. But I mean, that one is gruesome. That one is obviously, but even in that case, the members were still fighting for their reverend. They really believe he didn't do anything wrong, and and they believed that he was going to be exonerated at the appeal court. So they appealed, and until it got to the Supreme Court even. So even though he has been sentenced actually to death, not even to life, but he's still there, awaiting the execution, but he's still there. Yeah, so I just wish that the baby will come out, and maybe we can get some closure on the part of the baby. That is just my wish. But for now, the judge has ruled based on the circumstantial evidence that he have, And so yeah, it's good enough for the cause, so it's good enough for me. And yeah, I don't know about you. So thank you so much, my people. I don't want to take too much of your time. Yeah. So if there is no contribution, then I'll have to end this live stream here. So I want to thank you all for joining me, and I appreciate your support for me. And let's continue to pray for the family, and also for God to, complete this victory, and reveal the whereabouts of the innocent young boy. Yeah. So that's all I want to share with you today. Yeah, so in the absence of any other person joining and adding their own points to the conversation, I will have to leave you guys here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll say bye for now. Bye.